Man, oh man, look at all of that snow. That snow is where our story begins. Well, that's me, right over there. I don't look very happy about getting into the car right now. Makes complete sense. Last time I was in the car with all that ice and snow, things didn't really go so well. I was traveling from home back up to Rowan after spending Valentine's Day with my family. The snow was okay at first, but then it got kind of scary. I had about an hour to go before I would be back at my apartment. On Route 130, I noticed a light snowfall. That wasn't a big deal or anything, and it looked pretty to me. All of a sudden, once I got into 295, it was a blizzard I could barely see. I couldn't see any of the lane dividers, and this made me feel very anxious. Cars were weaving all around me. I was in the left lane, and I had a great fear that I would swerve into the medium and get stuck in the snow. I put on my hazards and waited for a good crowd of cars to pass me before I could travel to the right lanes. I decided to follow a van in front of me. I had found my lane until I had to get off of 295. Of course, it's Valentine's Day. Something bad always happens to me on Valentine's Day. Every year. My fear from 295 carried over to Route 55. Cars were getting completely stuck on both sides of the road. The road was worse this time. All I could see was white. I thought this was the end. I thought I was gonna die out there. I was so close to Rowan, but I was forced to drive about 25 miles per hour to get there safely. Maybe less. After making up lanes with another car, I drove ever so cautiously and made it to exit 50A. Relief. When I turned into crossings, the roads were absolutely terrible. My parking lot was a snowbank. My roommate, much to my disappointment, was parked in my usual spot, even though I knew she was out tonight. I had hoped she would have used her own car. I had to park in another assigned spot a little further away from our apartment. I had to make it up and assume I knew where it was because the lines and numbers were completely covered up. Turns out I parked in some other girl's spot and she wasn't very happy about it. Thankfully, I made it safe. But now, unfortunately, since I've had that experience, I now associate snow and ice and roads with fear and anxiety and panic and not being able to see. I need to accept the fact that I made it back safely, and I need to get rid of that fear. I need to get rid of that controlling value that says that ice and snow makes it impossible to drive and you'll die out there on Valentine's Day every single year. I need to let go of that. Thanks for listening to my story, and if you have to drive in the snow, please be careful out there. Thanks.